Timberwolves-Thunder. 5 takeaways as OKC's defense ties up Minnesota for 2-0 lead. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander displays MVP form, Julius Randle disappears, and OKC's defense dominates again in Game 2. The Timberwolves are slowly running out of answers, adjustments, and if this keeps up, games in the Western Conference Finals. The best-of-7 series is 2-0, advantage Thunder, and unless Minnesota proves otherwise at home, the next time basketball will tip here at Paycom Center will be Game 1 of the NBA Finals. For the second straight game, Oklahoma City appeared very much a no-1 seed for a reason, seizing control for good in a lopsided third quarter, and using their defense and depth, and of course, the freshly minted Kaya MVP, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, to put the Wolves in their place. With the exception of a few scattered spurts over 2 games, the Thunder have been in control, dropping hints of this developing into a one-sided series. Any drama or suspense, or at least a close finish, must wait until Game 3, SAT, 8:30 ET, ABC, or beyond, after OKC won the first 2 games by a combined 41 points. OKC flirted with danger in the 7-game semifinals against the Nuggets, falling behind twice, but has yet to feel much tension here, where they're a step closer to the finals. Here are 5 takeaways from OKC's 118-103 win, with the next 2 games tipping at the Target Center in Minneapolis. 1. Shai reminded sellout crowd and Wolves, who's MVP. As he raised the Michael Jordan trophy high in the air prior to tip-off, his home fans raised their voices. Therefore, both the MVP award and the noise were simultaneously heard, loudly and certifiably, and they screamed, "Shai sits on top of the hoop world." Even better, the vibe continued through Game 2, just in case the Wolves weren't convinced. Shai has dominated this series save for the first 2 quarters of Game 1, when he uncharacteristically couldn't get shots to fall. No matter. 2 nights after a bullish second half carried the Thunder to their first win, Shai was consistent throughout the follow-up. Much like he did in the regular season, his presence was felt at both ends, dropping middies on one side, poking the ball loose on the other. "He came ready to play," said Thunder coach Mark Daigneault. "He led with his approach, his force, his blend. Threw great passes, picked his spots, kept the scoreboard moving down the stretch." All told, his 38 points, 8 assists, and 3 steals loomed large in the victory. And that performance did something else. It kept him a level up over Anthony Edwards. Wasn't this series supposed to be about 2 young stars engaged in an arm wrestle over the mythical face of the league title? Well, that hasn't materialized. And it may never. 2. Wolves faced their first stress test since March. No team bum-rushed into this postseason with the force of the Wolves. Partly out of desperation, partly out of growth, the Wolves were the hottest team in the league when the playoffs began. They went 17-4 to finish the season, then breezed through the first 2 rounds of the playoffs, winning 8 of 10. Welcome to adversity finally. They've now lost 2 straight, and Minnesota isn't facing lesser competition anymore. No more breezy nights against the Jazz, no more Lakers or Stephen Curry-less Warriors. OKC is for real and healthy, and bringing very few flaws in which to exploit. The Wolves will need to bring a games to give themselves a chance, and that hasn't happened yet. Their response, starting with Game 3, will be telling. Can Edwards keep the foot on the gas finally? Will Julius Randle bounce back? And really, what changes can Coach Chris Finch make over the next 48 hours? Their biggest need is a creative point guard. Mike Conley seems gassed at this stage of his career. And nobody off the bench brings a pass-first attitude, leaving it up to Edwards and a turnover-prone Randle to handle the ball and create for others. And OKC's top-rated defense is wise to that. 3. Randle finally turns to vapor. It happened. Randle went missing, not only through much of Game 2, but the fourth quarter when he never left the bench. Perhaps this was inevitable, perhaps he was due. In any event, it was an uncommon sight in these playoffs, witnessing Randle stammer and struggle through a game. Actually, make that a game and a half. Randle had a strong 20 points in the first half of Game 1, and hasn't been the same since, just 14 points last 6 quarters after a tough night Thursday, where he had 2 field goals and 4 turnovers. About sitting Randle for Naz Reid in the fourth, was it a lack of faith shown by Wolves coach Chris Finch? I thought Naz had a good game going, just wanted to see if I could spread the floor and get some quick decision-making out there, Finch said.